Good evening, race fans, and welcome along. It's QRT GT3 Season 5. Oh yes, we're here for round number 3. Tis I, John Wright, aka Double O Raven, who will be taking you through all of the action tonight. We will sorely be missing Mr. Sean Madden, but all the best to Sean. He is under the weather at the moment, so we, of course, wishing him a full and speedy recovery. I'm most likely going to be lost without the facts, stats and backup that Sean does offer, but we will crack on nonetheless. It's round number 3. We've had the Northlife, we've had Imola, we're here tonight for Brands Hatch. We have quite a few drivers out on track as well, so it's going to be tight, twisty, technical, and a whole lot of overtaking. Welcome to everyone in the chat. Thank you. Noticed a couple of follows there as well. Hunter Ramirez and Nathan Nath Racing. Thank you very much for the follows here at QRT. Reverend Kevin is in the chat. So is Freelancer Tech. Car 990 reporting for duty. 10 Hut. Welcome in, ladies, gentlemen, young and old race fans worldwide. It is the usual format for QRT. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. 1 hour race with a mandatory pit stop for tyres and fuel. The amount of fuel completely at the driver's discretion. And we've got 4 categories out on track. We've got the wild cards. They'll all be number 990 and above for identification purposes. We've got the AMs, we've got the silvers, and we have the pros. And what a race it was last week once again. In the pros, it was Chandler Williams, another winner in the series, making a debut as well. Phenomenal drive. Jerome Jongen finishing in 2nd place, with Scott Ticehurst in 3rd. It was Damien Konzig who took the fastest lap points. In the silver split, Tomac Grazik, my apologies, Nick Brunsnicks and James Matcham finishing on the podium, and it was the silver winner, Tomac Grazik, who brought home the fastest lap as well. Only half a second down on the fastest lap set by the pros. In the AMs, it was Alexis Letelier bringing home the win, with Wraith on the 2nd spot of the podium, and Alex Perry finishing in 3rd place in the 420 Nissan. Love to see the Nissan GNR making an appearance. The fastest lap, Alexis Letelier, and much like silver to pro, only half a second separated the fastest lap. It just goes to show you how close this is, how close this championship is. The pros are out on track at the minute qualifying, and it's last week's fastest lap racer that is already setting purple sectors by what can safely be described as a considerable margin. We'll get a look at that in a second. There is success penalties for the championship. In all 3 splits, not the wild cards, but in all 3 splits, although the wild cards should get it, I think. But yeah, in all 3 splits, 3rd place in the championship receives 10 seconds. 2nd place in each of the championships receives 15 seconds. And it is a 20-second success penalty to the driver who dare be the leader in the championship. And that one's not quite working, so we're just going to jump on with the qualifying. I'll give you a quick rundown. We do have a drop round as well, which I don't think has been implemented as yet, but certainly in the AMs it is Alex Perry leading the way with 2 trips onto the podium. Christian Tenerio with a race win and a 5th, although I don't think he's in the championship anymore. Which means Perry's got a 22-point lead back to Lieutenant Red Eye. Let me find you somebody that's on track. There we go. With Alexis Letelier, last week's winner, but didn't start at race number 1. Did pick up 6 penalty points as well. That could be massively costly at the end of the season, given how close these seasons always. Thomas Grazik, bringing home the race win and the fastest lap last week, finds himself with a 15-point lead back to Paul Cook. Mark Martins in 3rd place in the championship, a point ahead of Bjornage and Matcham, both on 43 points. They've only got a 2-point gap back to Papai's got a 1-point gap back to Wilson. Incredibly close in every one of the championships. Damien Cons. Oh, excuse me. Back-to-back champions in season 3 and 4. Hasn't had a win this season so far. 3rd place and 4th place after 2 unfortunate incidents in the last third. In fact, 19.5 minutes to go. In the last 2 races, Konzig has had an incident which has seen him drop off the lead and drop off the podium indeed in last week's race. He's still got a 4-point gap over Arnaud Delazus, the driver that set exactly at the same time as Konzig. Or sorry, Konzig set the same time as Delazus because Delazus set it first at the Nordschleife in the opening week. 8 minutes 7.016. I believe the times were. 4 points though is the gap between the two of them in the championship. Delazus with a 3-point gap ahead of Jerome Jongen. Apologies, Jerome. Andre Thierry and Renier Athenstad find themselves in the top 5 as well. Last week's podium sitter Scott Ticehurst is currently 7th in the championship, with Chandler Williams didn't race in round number 1, did win last week. He's also picked up 5 penalty points as well. That would have put him tied 5th. Instead he finds himself in 8th place. It just goes to show you again how close this championship is at the moment though. Not very close, certainly in QRT terms. Up at the top of the table, Konzig 4/10 ahead of Delazus. These two are at it again. Mike van der Hoek had a phenomenal race last week as well. The Fast and Furious esports driver, currently sitting in 3rd place. The rest of the field are close. Konzig's a 4/10 gap, certainly. What is the word I'm looking for? Not reminiscent. It will come to me. But yeah, so the big gap that Konzig's got up at the top is certainly not mirrored throughout the field. Only a 10th between Van der Hoek and Williams. Oh, and that is that's about a 10th loss there, with running wide through one of the most difficult, one of the most annoying, and quite frankly, one of the corners I hate the absolute most in the whole of motorsport. Yeah, that uphill double apex. It does tend to pickle my poor little brain, it is safe to say. Van der Hoek has recovered. We've got a lot of times in fact all the pros I believe do have times set. They do. It's Fabian Goldie bringing up the rear at the moment. 1.6 down on pole position. He's only 2/10 behind Kibazinski in 12th place. Just ahead of them is Ericsson and Schoberg. Oh, the Team Shimmy Skin's not working unfortunately. Fear Nothing Moto rounding out the top 10. 1.1 seconds separates the top 10 drivers. An almost identical time between Zubig and Schoberg. Same with Jongen, Wegman and Denart. What a battle that is going to be. 5th, 6th and 7th. Quite the showing at the moment. Andre Thierry finds himself currently in 8th with Jongen just ahead. But he is behind Denart and last week's debutant winner, Chandler Williams. Team name, please break turn 1. Now there is a bit of irony there, because if Chandler was to cause an incident into turn 1, that team name is absolutely going to come back and bite him on the rear spoiler. Van der Hoek, as we saw, in 4th position, and Delazus has been overtaken because Tom wastes no time getting himself onto the podium. Wegman for Inception Racing. Look at how wide they take that. Where do you find the grip out there, is the question I have to ask at this point, because I certainly can't find any. He's half the gap to Konzig up at the front to a quarter of a second. We'll call that. I was about to get overly fancy there. But Damien Konzig, yeah, all the fanciness. He just gets the head down, and what a race we are looking forward to. And Konzig absolutely piling it on, and he is... Oh, he is down on his time, but Jerome Jongen and Chandler Williams all making improvements. Wegman, Van der Hoek and Zubig have all invalidated their laps. Here you can see the yellow flags. That is absolutely incredible the way he does that. Oh, and then he put... Yeah, comes to the commentator. There we go. Flawed Genius, good evening from a bedridden Sean. Thank you, John, for taking full control tonight. Sean, listen, absolute pleasure, mate. Please look after yourself and get better soon. Bang of a race, I'm missing 2. Hope you're doing well. Yep, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Yeah, Brands Hatch for an hour with 37 cars. Woohoo! Bring it on. Although, yeah, the next time I give Bathurst a hard time for the double chicane on the pit entrance, someone say to me, Brands Hatch, please. Because that is a fun entrance there. Let's have a look back up at the pros. Oh, Williams is just invalidated on the last corner. Oh, for the finest margins. Jongen as well. His qualifying is done and dusted. And it's going to be the silver drivers taking to the field. This is the way it should be. The pros and the silvers rubbering the track in for the arms. It's the way it should be. Although, I do think that we need to have a quick look at the weather, because there's no way this is using current actual weather in Britain. It is currently 39 degrees hotter on track than it actually is at Brands Hatch at the moment. And yes, that means it is -3. Can confirm. Very, very cold. Very, very cold. We'll have a look at the... Oh, Damien Konzik, all 3 purple sectors. Tis not often that happen, although Tom Wegman, plus 20 kgs of ballast, as provided by pit skill. So that is some amount of skill to get that McLaren to where he has. Now, good evening. Is that Mrs. Emily, by the way? It was Sean that pointed this out to me last week. I was calling you Mr. Semele, but Sean did think it was Mrs. Emily, which does make a lot more sense. So, yeah, please do feel free to let me know which one of those monikers is correct, so I can address you all correctly. But welcome in. Hunter Ramirez wishing luck to everyone as well. They're definitely going to need some luck. Scottish, if this race is a banger without me in it, I'll riot. I would get the placards and the flaming torches ready, because this is going to be a banger. Sean in the chat, back to business as usual for Damien. Yep, Damien don't do half measures. He really doesn't. The 3 purple sectors, he is keeping them all. Please be Mrs. Emily. Mrs. Emily is correct. There we go. Sean got it correct. So that lets him off the hook for all the surnames that he's got wrong in the past. Well done. Yeah, but my apologies, Mrs. Emily, for jumping to conclusions and calling you Mister. I hope you're looking forward to tonight's race. It's going to be a cracker. As you can see, the pros very closely qualified. Only 2.5 tenths separate the front row. It's the Konzig and Wegman show, and we've seen what a show they can put on at the front of the grid. If anyone doesn't believe me, then please feel free to jump on a YouTube, and you can watch all of last season. Valencia between these two is absolutely incredible. Why try Sensation? Is that Andre Thierry? Yeah, what to do is, if you do want to share streams for your point of views, if you share them in Discord, because we don't allow links in the stream there, unfortunately there are unscrupulous people who do, they're basically sick in the head. Let's just leave it there. Let's look at the rest of the pro qualifying while the silvers start getting some time set. Sterling up in the top 10. Oh, it's Schoberg. My apologies. Why try Sensation is Schoberg, who's been bumped down to 11th. We've got Delazus and Van der Hoek on the second row, with Williams and Zewig on row number 3. Jongen and Denart are going to start 7th and 8th. Sterling, the first silver to separate himself some pros ahead of Thierry and Schoberg. Then it is Eriksson and Kibazinski who find themselves with 3 silvers ahead of them. And Fabian Golde already in 17th position, with Bjornage, one of the championship protagonists in the silvers, getting himself up to 16th position. We will pop this one down, and we will jump on board with a couple of the silvers. There is Sterling in the Turn 1 Sim Racing BMW. Great drive so far. Thomas Grejig, last week's race winner and fastest lap taker, Turn 1 Sim Racing, finding themselves in second, just ahead of Christophe Papai, another Turn 1 Sim Racing car. So the top three, oh my giddy aunt. Ed Sterling in the BMW puts himself on to the second row of the grid. You absolutely love to see it. Bjorn Nye going quicker as well. Schopp up in its 16th position, giving him, what's that, 4th, 5th? Yeah, 5th position in the silvers. I really did have to think about that one there, didn't I? Nice to meet you, Sam. Yeah, I'm not sure anyone was actually walking on eggshells. It was just more a case of, yeah, not getting the name correct. But yeah, welcome in to everyone. And again, huge thank you to Hunter Ramirez and Nath Racing for the follows. If you do want to catch all of the racing, it is all beautifully back catalogued on the YouTube. QRT have their own YouTube channel, all the races saved for posterity. If you want to see some of the closest racing action on any racing sim, never mind ACC, I can strongly recommend QRT. There is an annoying Scottish bloke on most of them. We do apologise, we just can't seem to get rid of him at QRT. Grejeg, oh, he does go quicker and he gets himself firmly inside the top 10. 7.5 tenths off pole position. The silvers really bringing the heat once again, and another Turn 1 Sim Racing. They're absolutely dominating in the silvers at the minute, and it is the mighty Lexus. Won't have much room here, of course, to unleash the straight line prowess that the Lexus has, but certainly doing a great job so far, and he does go even quicker. 15th overall puts him in 4th place in the silvers. Oh, okay, hope you guys mentioned the track was fast for the pro class and now it's optimum. Yeah, my apologies, I did not notice that. I was too busy looking at the track temperature, because let's face it, 36-degree track temperature at Brands Hatch, that is something to talk about. I don't think it's ever reached up. They do get some hot days down there, but yeah, that is very, very, very warm. Adam Basteri, another driver, continuing the dominance that Turn 1 Sim Racing are showing in the silver class. The Mercedes driver, love the sound of that engine. Putting in a phenomenal performance at the moment, but Rick Kranz is looking to rain on that parade. Those two separated by 100th of a second. Basteri finishes his lap, gets ready to start. Oh, start another one as Rick Kranz was 3 tenths up. He was 3 tenths up. That would have put him, I mean, Kibuzinski, Flint, Basteri and Kranz are all 1.4 seconds off of pole position. If Kranz had brought home that 3 tenths, that would have moved him up 7 positions. That's how close it is, and of course, as was pointed out, the track conditions have drastically improved. There is a big difference between fast and optimum. Oh, and that is not optimum by Rick Kranz there, as he heads down towards the Cooper Straight. Graham Hill Bend almost sending him all the wrong way. And next, of course, is Surtees. What a corner that is. It really is an absolute cracker. I'll tell you what, I say, we'll stay on board with Rick Kranz. We'll have a look through the rest of the course. Down Pilgrim's Drop and into what I unaffectionately call the triple right-handers from hell: Hawthorne, Westfield and Sheens. With a little trip along the Dell of Dingle in between, and yet unsighted apexes that get worse with every single lap. And yeah, Rick Kranz just finding out the hard way there. It's still Ed Sterling though, and he's going quicker as well. Why you comment alone for this race? Sean in the chat there, he is very unwell at the moment, unfortunately. So yeah, he will be hopefully joining us again next week if he is better. Obviously health is more important. We need to prioritise being healthy. So yeah, as soon as Sean is back fighting fit, he will be rejoining me in the comedy box. So yeah, apologies, it will just be myself that you all have to put up with this evening. If my voice lasts, actually, it's almost starting to go already. I think we might need to prepare ourselves another honey-filled cup of tea. Ed Sterling, he'll be getting ready to pop the champagne as he pulls into the pit. Second row of the grid. The track conditions playing wonderfully in the hands of the Silvers. And another one of their teammates, Christophe Papai, has gone third in the Silvers, with Thomas Grezig in second place. What a run they're having at the moment, with Denart in there as well. We'll get that camera there and that camera there, and there we can see in all of its glory Ed Sterling's third place overall, leading the way in the Silvers. Grezig, his teammate, in second. Papai's teammate in third place. Bornage breaking the hold Turn 1 Sim Racing have on the silver qualifying at the minute. He's got himself 13th place overall. Slightly impressive, it has to be said, with the goer in 15th place, bringing him home in 4th place for the Silvers. Danny McCutcheon just beaten to the punch by the goer, but you'll join him at the moment on row number 8. We do have the AMs, and then the wild cards are out with the AMs as well. And some of the wild cards, it's safe to say, are beyond pro pace. Of course, we had one of the wild cards winning round 1. What a round was as well. It was absolutely phenomenal race at the Nordschleife. The highs and the lows encapsulated, the highs and lows of sim racing encapsulated for quite a few of the drivers. Oh, Haugstad just finding his way off track. But yeah, Danny McCutcheon, then Dennis Shope. It is then Flint Basteri who find themselves in 7th and 8th in the Silvers. Rick Kranz in 9th, and still ahead though, Fabian Goldie, Bell, Cook, Matcham, Thompson round out the silver grid. And that's not Thierry, my apologies. There is Alexis Letellier, winner last week in the AMs, and I'm here to silently comment, nice. Haugstad is faster than me at Barcelona. Ah. Well, unfortunately for him, that's not on the calendar. It is an incredible calendar. We've had Nordschleife and but Brands Hatch, of course, this evening. Suzuka Circuit of the Americas. And then the Red Bull Ring to round it all out. What a grandstand finish it's going to be. And I can tell you, this is going to be another extremely close competition. We will not be able to pick a winner until the final cars cross the line at the Red Bull Ring. Some more time matching going on, as Horman and Van der Hoek have set exactly the same time. O'Connor making a debut as well, part of the police break turn 1 team. One of the wild cards, so he's making his debut in the Mustang. What an engine noise that has. He's got almost an identical time, so it is going to be incredibly close. The Tellier leading the way in the AMs. Of course, Horman, O'Connor and Gibson are in the wild card category. Last week's second place, it is Wraith. And that is a livery right there. That is a livery right there, and it is definitely spurring him on, because he, yeah, as I say, second place with Alex Perry just behind him in the GT Arnold. 35th place overall, Lieutenant Redeye and Gert Andre Haugstad. He is in the AMs. I think that could be a promotion again. That is a phenomenal livery. Some serious artwork going on there. Zach Scott yet to set a time as well. If memory serves, I'm sure Scott did have a good race last week as well, so he'll be looking to build on that. I don't know why Christophe Papai's got a yellow flag. He's in the pits. Sterling, of course, in the pits. Horman and O'Connor still out qualifying, but we'll keep an eye on the actual AMs. Of course, Alexis Letelier leading the way in the Mustang at the minute. Ooh, and that's run a bit wide there. That is going to be track limits. Get to the chopper. Or get to the finish line. Whichever one takes your fancy. Ooh, Letelier rounding the penultimate corner. Still a yellow flag for Papai. Bit of a strange one. Moose in the chat. Good evening, Mr. Moose. How are you getting on? How are things? Did I see you with another... This might be a random question. Did I see you with another Twitch channel? Have you started the second Twitch channel? I realise that sounds like a random question, but I do flick through and look a lot on Twitch. And for some reason I thought you had a second channel or another channel. But yeah, hopefully everything's going okay. How's the racing going for yourself these days? Oh, really using that exit curve to the absolute max. There we go, on the way up to Sheens once again. Tyres absolutely squealing. Ah, that's what the new channel. He's gone to the dark side of YouTube. There we go. Highlight my message. Todd Murphy racing with the emoji. How is the fool these days? Still doing these open lobbies. Absolutely incredible guy. Yeah, if anyone ever wants to get involved in any open lobbies with a phenomenal bunch of human beings, whatever fool on Twitch, he's in Canada. So very much later on in the evening UK time. So if you are in Europe and you do like a bit of late night racing, can thoroughly recommend Mr. Whatever Fool. Todd Murphy, love the QRT esports lads. Yes indeed, Todd, some incredible racing, and yeah, they've got a new livery as well, which is pretty cool. I did really like the blue one from before. But certainly no complaints about the new one. We've got less than 2 minutes left to go at the 2.4 mile circuit that is Brands Hatch, an ex-bike course. When this first came into existence, it was a cycling course and it was run in reverse. So turn one, you had to cycle up that hill lap after lap. Talk about a stiff upper lip. Are there prizes for the championship? There are not for this one, no. Yeah, no, that's correct. Yeah, no prizes for this one. Just the sheer honour of being a QRT champion. No mean feat, although I say no mean feat. Damien Konzig's done it back to back, but he did test positive for alien DNA. So no massive surprise. He's certainly got a fight in his hands at this season. He's not won a race, 3rd and 4th, but he's still leading the championship. For the confines of my bed. Yep, Sean, a bit under the weather. We'll hopefully get him back next week. Now, Letelier is going to have time to get another lap in. So too is Wraith. He's currently 0.2 of a second up. I'd see him up 4 positions. And potentially getting himself ahead of Bornage in the silvers. And I think he's going to have time to finish this lap and get another one started. Indeed he will. And he does. He sneaks just ahead of Bornage. So there we go. 2 of the AMs find themselves firmly ahead of quite a few silvers. The track going from fast to optimum is certainly given us an interesting mix on the grid as Laveau comes into the pits. I don't think they've uploaded their livery properly, unfortunately. Yep, you're right. Going to bed at 8 o'clock. What are you, 9 years old? I mean, you say that, but I'm almost 50, and bed at 9 o'clock doesn't actually sound like a bad idea. Okay. Do we still have someone out on track? Yes, we do. But they are all over now, and it is Damien, returning champion Konzig, who rounds out the entirety of the grid. If I click that and then that, we'll get some times. There we go. So we can ignore 3 of the top 4 in the arms. They're wild cards: Horman, O'Connor, and Gibson, as well as Laveau. All wild cards, you can tell, because they are 3-digit card numbers that start with 990. Anyone above that number is in the wild cards. The rest of them are dyed in the wool arms, and it is Letelier, after last week's successful outing. Finishes at the top of the quali in the arms, with Wraith in second, and it is Haugstad in third place, just ahead of last week's podium finisher Alex Perry in the Nissan GT3. Red Eye did get a time set, no time from Zach Scott, but all those purple sectors that Konzig was storing up, they have been shared about, as we can see. We'll get a good look at that in a second. Sterling, as we saw, took the top spot on quality for the Silvers, ahead of Grayzig, Papai, Bornage and De Gore. Danny McCutcheon in 6th, the Shop and Flint in 7th and 8th, Basteri, Kranz and Bell 8th through 11th for the Silvers, with Cook and Matcham in 12th and 13th place. Thompson and Just Loon 14th and 15th position. But it is still Damien Konzig who's taken the top spot. Hadjo Horman, I did not see that, halved the gap between Wegman and Konzig and stuck himself right in the middle and took a purple sector. Wegman, no purple sectors with the plus 20 kgs of weight as ballast added to the car, and finds himself 400ths ahead of O'Connor, whose Mustang did take purple in sector number 1, and by almost a tenth of a second. The only driver to get a 21.4 in sector 2. That is a very speedy quick time. Sterling leading the way in the Silvers, finished up in 5th place after the wildcards got done with their qualifying, and Letelier, as we can see, inside the top 10. So 1 silver and 1 arm in the top 10. Great showing. And in fact, in the top 10, there's only 4 pros. 2 wild cards and the silver and arm driver. Oh no, my apologies. Konzig and Wegman up at the front. It is 6. Yep, I got that the wrong way around. It's 6 and 4. Grayzig in 11th place ahead of Papai Zewig and Jongen, 13th and 14th. As we can see, Wraith second in the arms, 17th overall, with Bornage just behind them in the Silvers. We've got Laveau 22nd place overall. And then as a whole group of Silvers led by Flint, we have Fabian Goldie right in the middle. 29th place overall. That is quite the drive that Goldie is going to need to put on for this one. Yeah, Marcus Schoberg there. The wildcards, yes, they are very, very quick. Yeah, definitely handy, Sean. It's definitely handy when you get the Twitch name as well. We'll get a rundown, and yeah, my throat is starting to go a wee touch, so while we do a rundown, I will pour myself a honey-fueled libation. Right, let's see. Aye, there we go. So the success ballast has been added as well, as I mentioned before. The one mandatory pit stop, the drivers that are leading the way in their respective championships will find themselves with extra time in the pits gifted upon them. And there we go, we can bring that up, and it is Brands Hatch, so we'll make it a little bit shorter. There we go, quick run down of the starting grid. There we go, perfect timing. I hope all of you at home have your drinks on standby. Certainly don't be holding them in the first lap, because there will be all kinds of action going on. Damien Konzig will be leading the way. Sean, that sounds like a very wise man that once said that. Oh, it was me. Yeah, that is a very famous phrase. You cannot win a race in turn one, but you can certainly lose one. And at a track like Brands Hatch, that can be hugely magnified. The triple right-handers from hell. Those non-visible braking points in Apex is so much fun to throw the car towards. And there's the green lights. It's foot down, it's flat out, it's flying into turn number one. And Damien Konzig with a very good start. So too has your Horman, Tom Wegman. Oh, and there's a bit of a concertina effect there. Oh, and a big wiggle there from Horman. He's almost lost the BMW as Wegman sails up the inside. He's got very little in the way of traction. O'Connor and Sterling almost making contact, as Sterling in the silvers does make up a place on O'Connor. It's a great start there for him. De La Zeus still in 6th place. Sorry, up to 6th. He's ahead of Letelier. Oh, the turn one sim racing Ferrari then. Oh, big contact with the Fast and the Furious, and he's braking almost connected with the Fast and the Furious Mustang behind him there. Being overly polite, it would seem. We've got a couple of drivers down at the back of the field. We'll get an update on that as Paul Cook looking to make an overtake as to head down Pilgrim's Drop for the first time of asking. Misteri with the solid start in the race as well, up a position. Danny McCutcheon losing 3 in the opening exchanges, much like Wraith. Still in second in the AMS, but certainly they're getting ever closer. The Porsche of Ericsson right up that rear tailpipe at the minute as they successfully make their way through it. We've got someone dropping down the order, tumbling down. Oh, and Wraith, as I've looked at, oh, and there's more cars coming off as well. all the fun of the fair as Brands Hatch is lap number 1. Oh, it's the Fast and the Furious Mustang facing completely the wrong way. Mark Gibson almost completely down and out. Damien Konzig does lead the way with Tom Wegman in second. Hajo Horman hanging on to third place. Ed Sterling up to fourth place with Ryan O'Connor in fifth position. So those two have swapped. De La Zeus, Letelier, Van der Hoek and Chandler Williams all exactly where they started. Jerome Jongen has made it up 4 places on the start. That is very, very, very good stuff indeed. Let's have a quick look. Oh, big contact in a straight line there. The T1SR Lexus taking one from the Porsche. Before we even got to turn number 1, a couple of cars wiggling on the curb. Oh, and a bit of netcode with the Porsche in the background. So tight down the hill. Oh, and it's the 2 identical Porsches that make contact with one another, and the Ferrari in the background just making contact there as well. Oh, and this might be the same incident just from a second angle. So yeah, the Turn 1 Sim Racing Lexus, you can see, look how close the field is down into turn number 2, as you would expect. The Ferrari trying to hang it around the outside at Dennis Shop there, but they just made contact down to the bottom of the hill, and they all survive. Let's see what happened with the 296. This is Van der Hoek, so we can see here there is a bit of a concertina effect. He tries to brake to get out of the way and then just takes a Mustang in the rear. Oh, and in fact the Mustang had a better run, and the car ahead almost cut him off. The Turn 1 Sim Racing Ferrari giving him a little bit of a tap on the way into Surtees. He did survive and keep it between the Mayo and the Mustard. He didn't hold on to the position though. We also had a bit of an incident with Haugstad in the Ferrari, as you can see. Tried to get the car in towards the apex. In fact, he might even have taken a void action. The GT Anode is just ahead of him here. Oh, and it's the green Porsche now. I did think there was a bit of netcode there. Oh, and that's all kinds of chaos that's unfolded at the back of the grid. That'll be why Thomas Grashek actually down 18 positions. Car number 31. So let's see what happened here. Oh, looking for space up the inside. Does find it. Oh no, the Turn 1 car has a massive moment there. Ends up off track. Oh, wrong place, wrong time. That'll be where we saw a lot of cars going off at the start. Oh, and there goes another one. This car 424, that is Denart. Denart tumbling down the order, 5-6 positions. Car 230. No. Oh, Turn 1 Sim Racing tapping the Lexus, was tapped the McLaren, was then tapped the Mustang, was then re-hit the Lexus again. Multiple contacts there. That's not the car I was looking for though. The car I was looking for is Thierry, I believe it was. There is so much going on. Andrew Thierry, no, it wasn't car 46. Grazik 31. Grazik car 31. And there's been that much happened that we can't keep up with that. Let's go up to the front of the field where no one can keep up with Damien Konzig. Oh, well, actually, no. My apologies, Mr. Wegman. Yep, definitely keeping up. Is it keeping it in the slipstream? And he is doing a bit more than that. He is closing right up along the final straightaway. Again, nowhere really for cars like the Lexus to absolutely unload that top end speed. But certainly Clearways is about as good as it gets. Pilgrim's as well, potentially. Moving over out of the slipstream is Wegman, and Sterling takes an early fastest lap. The track has gone back to fast, but it has dropped in temperature by 6 degrees from qualifying. So the pro drivers will certainly be used to the track conditions. The Arms and the Silvers, maybe not quite so much, given that they did have optimum track to qualify, but it's now again down rated too fast. Konzig leading the way with Wegman in second, Horman in third place, then Sterling in fourth, O'Connor fifth, De La Zeus, Van der Hoek, Letelier, Jongen and Williams rounding out the top 10. Not a great start for Williams, dropping positions, and he does have the championship success ballast to deal with in the pits as well. So his chances of winning the race already taken a huge hit. Given how far behind the rest of the field he is. Sterling though, what a start for the silver driver. As we can see, Turman Simrison have had an incredible opening to the race so far. Did well in qualifying, and Sterling taking places early door. He got one from O'Connor behind him, and he is trying to take one from Hajo Horman, who's already lost the place, as we saw in the opening lap, to Tom Wegman. These two as close as the two ahead, and Ryan O'Connor certainly not far behind. Chandler Williams, last week's debutant winner, is just behind Pro Jerome Jongen. These two again, first and second in the championship. 15-second and 20-second penalty respectively, and yeah, slightly behind the lead pro group, so it really is going to be an uphill race for these two today. Certainly plenty of uphills for that. For this one, the 488 makes a lot of sense now. Yeah, 488 is fun round here. Oh yeah, 41.4 at Imola, not too bad at all. Oliver Zewig does have Marcus Schoberg, who was saying hello in the chat before the race. His Fear Nothing Moto. Oh, and he's watching the battle taking place ahead of him. Yes, front right wheel, it is the best camera in the game. I see the Porsche of Zewig, we saw take some contact in the early exchanges. Oh, we've got some overtaking action as the Lexus on a comeback drive. Andre Thierry found himself with some unwanted contact. Another car completely lost it on the curbs. Came back on track and clipped Thierry, who then clipped another car, and then the original car came back and clipped him, and Brands Hatch happened. Is all we're going to say on that one. Lavoie in the wildcards at 19th place ahead of Basteri, and Chris Bell having a good start to the race as well, up 9 positions. Almost into the double figures. The car ahead of Basteri up 7 as well, so really good start by the drivers down at the back of the grid. Christophe Papai down 25 positions, so he has taken his mandatory pit stop. So to Denart, who's back in the pits, and Alex Perry also going for the Uber undercut. Although that was another car, the GT Arnold, that we saw get ever so slightly ragdoll, that was in the air, and those brakes gave up like they just don't care. Alex Perry in the GTR, facing the wrong way. As we can see, the Ferrari of Haugstad looking to go a lap up. My apologies, that's not Haugstad, that is Haugstad. Double apologies. It is Haugstad. May or may not have gotten beached on one of the Norse curbs during the race. Can neither confirm nor deny. You just cursed Perry, he ain't happy in voice chat. Alex, sorry, my apologies. Although, caveat, if you are going to listen to commentary on the race while you're racing, I believe the phrase my dear sainted mother would use is Hellmanger. Save it for after the race. I certainly couldn't listen to a race be commentated on if I was in it. I would, yeah, just too much pressure. There's enough pressure just being in a race. Paul Cook's the one applying the pressure to grazing. We've also got Dennis Shope on an incredible start in the Naruto machine. Up 9 places. Biggest gainer in the top 15 so far. Bjornaz was 7 places, Schoberg and De Gore 6 places each. You know what they say, it's an ill wind that blows nobody some good, and certainly Schope has been on the receiving end of some excellent wind assistance, it would seem. Chandler Williams looking to improve on his position before he makes his way into the pits. Damien Consing and Tom Wegman, have they just swapped places? No. Ah, so it's like that. After all the extra camera time, you throw me under the bus like that, eh? You were the one that told them. Goodness gracious me. I hope you at least collected the tickets from the passengers before you ran me over on that bus, but that's okay. That's fine. We'll definitely be applying extra pressure next time you're out on track. Yeah, pressure all over the place. Chandler Williams, debutant winner last season. He was all over the back of Van der Hoek. He now finds himself with AM winner Letellier. A bit of Mustang on Mustang action here at Brands Hatch as the head down at Pilgrim's Drop. Certainly plenty of braking going on in turn number 1. Williams and his teammate both survived that. Wow, we're already 13 minutes in. How was that even possible? My concept of time goes clean out the window when I'm commentating these QRT races. It is ridiculous how fast. That's the quickest 8 laps I've ever seen in my life. And not just because it's a very short track before someone cleverly points that one out. We'll jump back on board with Ross O'Connor. Of course, part of the Please Brake Turn 1 team. That is a very good name. Down 1 position at the moment. And a bit of a gap separating him from Sterling. Now an equal gap back to De La Zeus in 2nd place. We've got Neil Eriksson, who is involved in a nice train of cars. Certainly nice from our point of view. I'm not sure Jerome Jongen would agree. He is, what, 5 places ahead of the car we're on board. But, ooh, and that's a big one from Zubig. He's going to get himself into all kinds of trouble there. Marcus Schoberg is going to chase him down the hill into Graham Hill Bend. Oh, wow, that is going to be incredibly difficult through Surtees. They're side by side on the straight. I'm scared to move the camera in case we miss anything. Let's get this on a helicam and see what happens in the Surtees. Naruto looking to go full power move up the inside. Couldn't quite pull it off, though. Schoberg in the Porsche. In 12th place, and you can see Oliver Zubig closing that gap. They're going side by side in the background. Shop and De Goer. Yes, Shop and De Goer going side by side. I think he's got the move done around at the outside. No, he's trying to make it stick in the Porsche. He's going to come in. Here comes Neil Eriksson. If the drivers ahead can't sort out their affairs, Eriksson will happily take a position, which he's just done. What a move up the inside. Love the overtakes here. Oh, we've got a car sideways. We've got a car sideways. It's Neil Eriksson. Eriksson is sideways with another 3 cars caught up in the Stramash, and he's returned to the pits. Yeah, what car? 91. Let's see the accident. There we go. There was an accident before this as well, so it was a doubler. Oh, so Eriksson right up the inside. Oh, and he's managed to hold that as well. What a manoeuvre that is. Oh, the Aston. That is incredibly clumsy there. Oh, as he takes it. And I tell you, that'll be PTSD for the Lexus driver. Andre Thierry, that's exactly the same place he got collected for being the wrong place at the wrong time at the start of the race. And it was very much nearly deja vu. There is a reason I call them the triple right-handers from hell. We've got 45 minutes to go. Let's see if anyone else can get on the same wavelength. Where do we look now? Neil Eriksson is in the pits. Alex, no cursor of commentator there. The GT finding himself facing completely the wrong way. Oh, as the race leader goes past. Is the race leader... Oh no, of course he's not. Wegman comes absolutely flying through there. Ooh, 2 wheels on the grass, that's going to unsettle the car. Oh, Hadjo Horman, far too fast into that corner there. I realise as a commentator we should never comment on incidents, but that did look like Horman was carrying way too much pace into that corner. I'm not sure an argument could be made that he would made that without the contact. Yep, calamity indeed. I think I'm definitely glad I ain't racing. I'm just hearing so much complaining about incidents. Yeah, Brands Hatch is certainly living up to its reputation for a lot of the drivers at the minute. And given how short the track is, we're going to see blue flags waving very soon. In fact, we've already got a lot of cars being in and out of the pits. Chris Bell involved in a battle with Tomasz Grejek. He's in the all-new QRT livery. Gratuitous livery time for that one. It's almost like they're hosting the race. But certainly Bell all over the back of Grayzig, and that is Flint and Basteri just ahead, and there is Kiwazinski in the Lamborghini, and I tell you, Cook is there as well actually. There he is. He's playing his own little game of peekaboo with Chris Bell. There's a Lamborghini between them at the moment. That could be a situation Cook will be looking to correct fairly soon. Kiwianski looking to get ahead and up to the rest of the pros, whereas Cook looking to get himself up into the top 7. Oh, the Lambo's run deep. That's going to cause him problems. Almost making contact through one of the straighter parts of the track, but it is Cook getting the job done. Indecisive from Kiwazinski. No indecision with Cook. He has decided he wants Chris Bell's position, and it looks like he is on a charge along clearways to take such. Marcus Schober 13th place in the Porsche, and he's looking to make it 12th overall at the expense of Oliver Schubig again. These are points paying positions. The drivers are squabbling over, and Marcus Schober takes a contact on the inside, and sorry, Schubig taking a contact on the inside. Schober makes it through. Dennis Schopp finds himself now with the almost with a very good run. I think he kind of half backed out with that one there. The Naruto livery absolutely flying, so too still Thomas Grayzig, another Turn 1 sim racing driver. The Silvers again, they've been absolutely dominant in qualifying so far, and they're continuing that in the race. Grayzig dropping down the order at the start, but he is certainly looking to make amends as quickly as possible. Fellow Silver driver Flint holding a position that Grayzig is looking to use to leapfrog. I tell you, up the inside, that is a very nice move. It takes two to tango, and Flint and Grayzig perfectly in step with one another, and it's Grayzig that puts the best foot forward and finds himself 18th position overall, and on a charge back through the Silvers. Konzig and Wegman now separated by a second. Ed Sterling is up to 3rd place. Oh, of course, Hadjo Horman with the big contact facing the wrong way. He's behind Ryan O'Connor. So the two wildcards battling for 4th overall. De La Zeus catching up to them. But Ed Sterling in the Silvers. I know we really shouldn't use this camera in the race, but that is a nice livery. Nice livery. It's good to see multiple Turn 1 sim racing liveries in the race as well. I like it when the teams do that. We do like the Naruto livery as well. Let's get an update on what's going on down at the back of the field. As you can see, several drivers have fulfilled their mandatory requirements in the pits, which means they've fulfilled their petrol tanks as well. 40 minutes left to go. 31 degree. Oh, the track temperature's going up. Now, isn't that interesting? And it has gone to optimum as well. Something I should have been more aware of. Ericsson still in the pits. Denart back in the pits. Zach Scott still to take his pit. And Paul Cook comes in from the Silvers to take his mandatory stop. Kiwazinski is on a charge as well. So much action going on. He's again all over the back of Chris Bell. Oh, and there's a McLaren off track. Oh, Zach Scott, an inauspicious start for Scott this week. No qualifying time set, and already 5 laps down on the race leader with a pit stop still to take. Jerome Jongen comes into the pit. Normally at this point I would have had time to talk about the oh my goodness me, got onto Jongen. Thank you very much, camera. Oh, battered and bruised in the number 24. No incident recorded though. Sorry, because his car's 79. Still no incident recorded for that either. Massively disappointing. But Jongen comes into the pits from the top 10. And yeah, a 1 hour race. Mandatory pit stop for fuel and tyres, and again you will see the drivers coming in at the end of lap 1. We'll see them coming in on the very last lap as well. But that's a few of them that have been in so far. Hadjo Horman looking to retake 5th position if he can. He's down 3 on the start. Ed Sterling up to Alex Letellier. Down 2 positions on the start, but it's 2 pros that have got past him. One of them's already won. this season, so certainly no shame in that for the AMP driver. I do think he'll be up to at least silvers sooner rather than later. And Ed Sterling, a bit of a Brands Hatch specialist, that could come back to bite him in the rear end. He's going to be battling with the pros next race as well. Harry does do an incredible job with the splits. Occasionally one or two do slip through the net because they haven't done much racing on, say, SimGrid, so don't have a huge rating there. It was certainly really close, and yeah, I think that Sterling and Letelier going to find themselves promoted. We've got Dennis Shop trying to take a position still. The Naruto are racing a Ferrari, still hunting down Marcus Schoberg. That's not Letelier ahead of him, and that's one of the Lambos. So it's Lieutenant Red Eye, there we go. Lieutenant Red Eye in the Lamborghini Squadra course. Nice bit of camo on the livery. Can't remember what one that is, but it's definitely featured on one of the early Rainbow Six games, that is for sure. But yeah, down there, Jerome Jongen comes back out of the pits. He came in from the top 10. That flickered a bit much for my liking. Back out in 27th position. It looks at the moment like he is behind Cook. In fact, he is behind Cook. The PC Sim Racing Ferrari. Oh, Basteris with an incident. Yellow flag. Denart's in the pits as well. It is all happening constantly. Absolutely love it. Oh, and we've got a drive-through for track limits. Lavoie. Ah, was it Jongen you thought was retiring? Ah, okay, sorry, I thought you were talking about... there was another driver that was in the pits for quite a while. Oh, Zach Scott with another yellow flag, unfortunately. I think Denart is retired to the pits. It does look like he's been there a while, yep. Yeah, he's been in there a while, that is for sure. Let's get back to the battle between Jongen and Cook. In fact, we should probably check on the race leaders. They're not very close, so let's just forget about them. Unless it's close racing, we're not really interested. I'm only kidding. But yeah, half joking. 1.6 seconds between Konzig and Wegman. Good breakaway for them. 2.5 seconds up on Sterling. Arnaud Delazeus comes into the pits. Retirement for Denart, yeah, 12 laps down. We've only done 17 so far, so yeah, he's been out for 5. I say only. We're absolutely flying at this race. We're 25 minutes into round number 3 of the QRT GT3 Season 5. Again, all the previous seasons uploaded to YouTube for your viewing pleasure. Oh, Jongen really trying to apply the pressure to Cook into Surtees. Oliver Zewig up in 14th place doing the same to De Goer, who is still chasing Thierry in that Lexus. Thierry on a great recovery drive, considering the double contact in one incident and then full avoiding action in another. And he is definitely making back places, up 4 overall in fact. So yeah, the comeback is definitely on. Oh, Hajo Horman coming into the pits. He's got a little bit of damage, 4 minutes shy of the halfway mark. Horman comes into the pits. We'll see if Ross O'Connor replies in kind. Is he fearful of the undercut, or is he going to stay out and run his own race and strategy? Bornage comes into the pits as well. We're about to see a mad dash. I think we've definitely got the potential now to have at least one car in the pits constantly for the next 30 minutes. As Thomas Grazig comes into the pits as well to add some credence to the statement that the wildly excitable commentator has been making. But there's the turn 1 car in for his mandatory pit stop along with Horman and Bornage. De La Zeus is taking his pit. There's Hajo Horman on his way back out. He's come back out 21st place overall, just ahead of Rick Kranz, who's still to take his pit stop. There is De La Zeus on his way out. Zach Scott 7 laps down. There's Bornage on his way out. Denart definitely retired. Might be the same for Scott as well. He's had a couple of incidents in his car. Yeah, maybe not handling the way he is used to, because there's a fair few off-track excursions he's had. Let's check in on Jakub Kiwazinski. As Van der Hoek comes into the pits, I did say we're going to constantly see a car in for the next 30 minutes, and there's Van der Hoek pulling into the pits from inside the top 10, so we'll see when he comes back out. No sign of Wegman or Konzig coming into the pits, so Damien Konzig leading the championship, to the fastest lap last week and the week before, I believe. No race win so far. And I don't want, I'm not one for superstitions as such, but certainly Konzig in the opening 2 rounds with 19 minutes to go has had some kind of issue which has seen him lose the race. With 19 minutes to go. Recovery drive was aided by the fact that a few cars around stayed out with damage. One of them, I believe, ran out of fuel in the North Slide, but definitely a couple of cars with damage. Had to nurse them across the line, which is what got Konzig back into the top 5. And then same again last week, 19 minutes to go. Made himself a bit of a mistake, picked up some damage, dropped down to 7th or 6th. And again, cars around them that were ailing fell by the wayside, but only enough to get Konzig up to 4th position. Yeah, I'll need to be careful with that one, Sean. Actually, I don't want to jinx up. We are going to, in fact, I'll tell you what, it may seem massively self-serving, but what I'm going to do. Ooh, what is this? Oh no, wait a minute. Oh, there's no hydrate. Yeah, I was trying to be clever there. Bear with me a moment as we see more cars coming in the pits. I just need to get myself a very quick drink, and we'll keep this throat fully functioning, because the second half of this race is going to be even wilder than the first half, as more cars are in with Pit Schoberg and Zewig in with Matcham. So we'll jump about the action back in a second. Oh yeah, full hydration break required. Wegman, Stirling, Williams, De Goer, Flint, Gibson, all in the pits. 4 of them in and out again. Wegman back out just behind Danny McCutcheon. Some beautiful onboard shots from the Lexus. Again, we don't often use chase cam, but it is a decent sounding engine on the Lexus as well. Let's see, Arnaud De La Zeus. Out of the pits, and again I forgot to push that button, so we've completely lost that information. My apologies. This is why we need Sean beside me in the commentary box. Race leader Damien Konzig comes into the pits. That puts Ross O'Connor in the on-track lead. Of course, Konzig replying to the pit stop by Wegman. Oh, and the turn 1 Racing Mercedes is carrying a bit of damage. Two turn 1 cars next to one another. The Mercedes definitely carrying a bit of damage on the front. Oh, and there's the number 14 going off track as well. I know who that is. I recognise that. Haugstad. Of course it is Haugstad. Yes, we know him. He is very quick indeed. We've got a Mercedes that is falling ever so slightly by the wayside. In fact, coming into the pits to get that damage repaired. So we'll see where they come back out. The top 3 on track haven't taken their pit stops as yet. Neither, has Chris Bell. He is currently in 4th. It says that Konzig is in 4th place. He's actually in 6th. That will update in a moment, but he is the lead car to have taken his pit stop, and he has a decent gap back to Wegman at the minute. Certainly bigger than it was before they came into the pits. Let's have a look. Wegman 22.2, Konzig 22.1. Konzig 4/10 quicker through the pit stop, so he got that pit limiter on and off. Absolutely bang on requirements. Danny McCutcheon does find himself separating the top 2 in the race, but he's got 1.8 seconds back to Wegman, as O'Connor and Letellier both come into the pit. Oh, well, actually, what I was saying about was constantly having a car in the pits for the next 30 minutes, looks like it's going to get thrown right out of the... Although Zach Scott is still in there, so's Denart. But cars actually taking their pit stop. I did think it would be more stretched out, but a lot of cars have dived into the pits just on the halfway mark. And with 26 minutes to go, we've got 5 in the top 8, one of them in the pits. Ryan O'Connor back in the pits. What has gone on? Ross O'Connor. My goodness me, I'm consistently calling him Ryan. Oh, was that his first pit stop? My apologies, Ross. Sorry, yes, that was O'Connor's only trip into the pits. I don't know why. I thought that was his second. He's back out inside the top 10 with 4 cars ahead to take their pits. Zhuweg gets himself past Letellier as he exits the pits just in front of Perry. So the AM leader now down in 17th position. Nothing registering on the incident sheet for him. Alex Perry also in the arms, but he's a lap down on Letellier, I believe. We're still showing the same pace as him at the moment. Andre Thierry in the Lexus. It's been quite the eventful race for the team race sensation. It's been a sensational race, certainly from a spectator point of view, from Thierry. With 25 minutes to go, 15th place overall. He is right on the back of last week's race winner, Chandler Williams. Excellent, Sean. Yeah, as long as you're fit and healthy, Sean. Don't. Yeah, we're not having anyone rushing back. Says me. But yeah, no, we'll make sure we are sure. Oh, now Konzig catching up to some traffic. It's Kibazinski, who, again, the level of respect in this league is absolutely incredible, and you love to see it. Whether it's the fastest drivers going past some of the AMs, or even some of the pros watching their competitors that have taken their pit stop, Kibazinski realising yeah, it's absolutely, he's not at the moment racing Damien Konzig. Maybe towards later in the season, certainly could be the case, but at the moment he is a lap down and he hasn't taken his pit stop yet, so a big difference. I think Kibazinski is about to come in so he doesn't get caught behind traffic. Yes, indeed he does. He joins Dennis Shope in the pits along with Chris Bell. So 3 drivers in the pits, and there goes Danny McCutcheon. So it took 11 minutes and not the 30 minutes that I promised, but yeah, 11 minutes, and that is the pit stops done and not quite dusted. We need 4 cars to come out, but certainly everyone has been in. Andre Thierry could find himself in an interesting position here. Oh, in fact, nope, they are going to be well past. Juve with a yellow flag. Oh, Juve getting a vivid look at the track surrounds. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, he's missed that apex by a country mile, and then he's tried to accelerate on the grass. And yeah, that is a whole chunk of time lost for Zhuwig. Yeah, Brands Hatch. It really is the great leveller. Tom Wegman looking to level things up at the top as well. He has just taken the fastest lap of the race with a 1 minute 23.412 as the track is indeed getting hotter. Now we're up to 32 degrees. Andre Thierry, ooh, just desyncing temporarily with the server there. Let's jump on to the bonnet. He's got last week's winner Chandler Williams and Marcus Schoberg just ahead of him. Schoberg with a great run in the race, up 10 positions. Dennis Schopp up 12 positions as well. But the start will be for naught if he cannot fend these two off. So yeah, 3 of the pros battling out for 2 spots in the overall top 10 at the moment, of course. The 3 of them well inside the pro top 10. 5th, 6th and 7th. Zhuwig in 8th, Kibzinski in 9th and Jongen in 10th place. Yeah, Schober coming a phenomenal race so far. And the Porsche, of course, not the greatest. The Porsche, of course, not the greatest in a straight line, quite famously. The new Porsche is a bit better. Oh, but the Mustang is going to sail the inside, and the Lexus is going to hang his hat on one of the drivers. Apologies for that weird line across the screen. Hopefully that doesn't come through on the streams. The head down Pilgrim's drop. It is going to be Chandler Williams who looks to go through on the outside. That's going to be quite the move. Please give me the helicam. There we go. On the inside, the Porsche nowhere near enough momentum through there, and that is 2 positions lost in very short order. Again, we don't usually use this camera for the racing, but I think this one warrants it. As we can see, he gets the move done. He's so much slipstream in the Mustang and the Lexus as well. We know that thing's quick in a straight line, doesn't often get the chance to use it around this course, but certainly, oh yeah. The Porsche was on the inside, and the Lexus with 2 wheels on the grass just pops his way through, but the Porsche no grip on the gravel. And that finds him now 11th position behind Thierry and Chandler Williams. Now he's now chasing down Bornage. Tom Wegman is absolutely flying, but so too Damien Konzig. He's gone 2/10 quicker. In fact, he was only 300ths slower than the fastest lap that Wegman held, and still is his fastest lap of the race, and he's just gone 2/10 quicker. So from 300 slower to 2/10 quicker. Another Champions Drive from Damien Konzig. 20 minutes left to go. QRT GT3 season number 5. In the pros, it is Damien Konzig currently leading the way with Tom Wegman in 2nd place, and Arnaud Delazeus, there we go, fresh in the pro category in 3rd position. Not too far behind though, Mike van der Hoek in the silvers. Ed on the overall podium, Sterling in the BMW. 3rd place overall, leading in the silvers, as I say. And then there is Oscar Bornage. Great drive by him in the Porsche so far. He's got 2nd. Dennis Schopp has got himself 3rd place. Alexis Letelier, sorry, he's lost a few positions in the race so far, but none of those have cost him the lead in the arms. In fact, he's down 7 now on where he started, but given the strength of field ahead of him, there's no way you can call that a bad race. He's still inside the top 15 and ahead of several pros, including Kibzinski, Jongen and Goldie. So great drive for Letelier. And in second place in the silver, in the arms, sorry, is Lieutenant Red Eye. In the Lamborghini, great drive by him as well, right on the inside of the curb. That was some brave cornering there from Red Eye. Also on the podium in the arms, it is Gert Andre Haugstad, just as to jump on board. The Death Trap Racing Machine, almost. Dishing out a bit of Shadow Realm justice there. He does survive. Grazig in 20th position. Letelier needs a promotion. Yes, he does. I would say so. Yeah, certainly wouldn't do him any harm up in the silvers, that is for sure. Grazig, turn 1 V, turn 1. Danny McCutcheon looking to fend off last week's race winner and his teammate. Oh, no. McCutcheon not overly defending that position there. Again, some good race IQ. He does know Grazig is, given Grazig's form so far this season, he has certainly been outperforming McCutcheon, so not a bad idea for McCutcheon just to let him through. Try and hold on for as much slipstream as he can, get the two of them to work together. Try and improve their positions in the silver standings. Got a bit of time to make up to go, sorry, but there is still some time to go. Is where that word went entirely wrong. But it's not gone wrong for Grazig. Well, sorry, yes it has. The start of the race definitely did. He's down 8 positions at the moment, but he was down about 15 on the start, so good comeback drive. Jerome Jongen, he is the driver that has to go just behind him in the Aston Martin. He's got Chris Bell just ahead of him. So we've seen plenty turn 1 v turn 1. We're going to see some QRT v QRT. Jongen in the pros and Bell in the silvers. So we'll see how those two get on. I was just about to say Oliver Zewig going very quickly indeed, but then he isn't. Absolutely stationary. Let's have a look and see. So it's just on the way into clearways. Too much inside curb. Rotates, facing the wrong way. The Mustang does well, taking avoiding action and keeping control of the car. That was 4 wheels on the grass. Clean up on aisle 3 potentially. Oscar Bornage in the Porsche. He's still hanging on the back of the Lexus of Thierry and Mike van der Hoek. He's had a good season so far. And he has got Arnaud Delazeus just ahead of him. This is for the final podium position in the pros between these two. Van der Hoek, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he's not been on the podium this season yet, but he's certainly threatened to do so. And at the moment, it's going to be at the expense of one of the pro race winners, Arnaud Delazeus. First and 7th for Arnaud, so he'll certainly be keen to hold on to 3rd place here if he can. Wegman doing his best to hold on to the back of Konzig. The gap now at 1.4 seconds. It's still Konzig that holds the fastest lap with what could be some unbelievably vital points come the end of the season. And now that is flickering. There'll be a moment. Yeah, sorry, apologies for the flickering. I have a standalone tower, timing tower, Which seems to be slightly interference. Hopefully it's not chopping up the broadcast too much. We've only got 13 minutes to go, 47 minutes raced already, 32 laps for the race leaders. It's going to be another jam-packed set of highlights at the end of the race, so do make sure you hang about for those. Still positions up for grab before we even think about Suzuka next week. Circuit of the Americas and Red Bull Ring still to come this season as well. Zhuwig has had a good start to the race so far. Yes, indeed, well done to him for holding the brakes. Yeah, an absolute gentleman driver is Zhuwig. And he has got Tomek Grejek just behind him. The Turn 1 driver at one point was on the silver podium, now finds himself in 5th position behind the Gore Bell, Shop and Bornage, and in fact 6th, sorry, because of course Ed Sterling is up in the top 3. Phenomenal drive by Chris Bell, absolutely not unheard of, but he has made up more places than anyone else in the race so far. 15 positions Bell has made up. To go from 30th at the start of the race to 15th position, so incredible drive once again by Chris. He will be absolutely delighted with the progress he's made. 4th place in the silvers, so a great points haul if he can bring this over, and he is just behind, oh wow, just behind Kibazinski as well, so could be looking at 14th place overall. Sorry, Centre Fire figuring we already have the best viewers on Twitch, but we do appreciate the offer. Banned. There we go. So yeah, Grejek looking to take Zhuwig's position if he can. Chris Bell chasing down Kibazinski as well. Let's get a look at this from outside. Sounds amazing. Bell v Kibazinski, this one is, as I mentioned, it's silver versus pro. Indeed, bargain at twice the price. But yeah, QRT into Surtees. Ooh, the Lamborghini really opening up that entrance and middle line on the way out as well. But it is enough to hold on. That Lambo really does fly, even when it is offline, and Chris Bell is going to have a very solid sector too if he's going to close back up again. Very middle line taken there by the Lambo. This time it does cost him a whole lot of time as Bell closes right back in on that slipstream. 10 AM local time. We have 32-degree track temperature, so it has gone up 2 degrees since the start of the race. We haven't reached the gargantuan 36 degrees that it was in qualifying. So the tyres certainly getting an easier time of it in the race than it did in qualifying. Fabian Goldie, oh, he's almost lost the back of that one right in front of Danny McCutcheon there. The pro driver, another driver that's done well in the race, didn't do great in qualifying. He's made it up 7 though in the race, much like Matcham and Cook, who are not far behind. Oh, although another big moment there for the Ferrari. The rapid racing driver maybe a bit rapid on the accelerator there, because the back of the Ferrari very much tried to kill him there. And here comes the race leader, in fact, Damien Konzig catching up to the back of these drivers. Wegman still 1.2 seconds down, so the gap has gone 2/10 in his favour. If it stays at this pace between the two of them, Wegman should be about 8/10 ahead. Or will be 8/10 ahead when they cross the line, so it goes to show just how close of a finish this is going to be. In fact, that is Wegman in the background. Just coming over the crest of the hill and down into Pilgrim's Drop. As you can see, come back up again as well. Such wide curves here. Right over the outside of the curves was Konzig. Wegman keeps it firmly in between. He does venture into the AstroTurf there. Very nicely done again by both drivers. In fact, double slipstream from the cars ahead. One of the Ferraris gets out of the way. That is Danny McCutcheon in the Lexus. Wegman is now going round the Ferrari as well. Konzig into turn number 1. McCutcheon pulls over. Wants absolutely no part of that. He knows he's got his own race to run. Gets right out of the way of the Audi. Here comes Wegman to do the same. Pops it up the inside and continues his charge down the hill through Graham Hill and onto one of the straighter parts of the track. Here comes Surtees once again. Do genuinely have PTSD from that corner, it appears. 410's down still for Bell on Young, and again I don't think Bell is in any way, shape or form going to push the issue, and that's not a team on team order. I am, again, that word has completely escaped me, so we'll crack on. Alluding, there we go. But yeah, Bell, a wily campaigner. He knows there's no point in doing anything too crazy. He has got 15 seconds to make up to the next silver driver. And with the pace he's got, that's not quite going to be possible, so no point in forcing the issue against Jongen. Certainly Jongen makes a mistake. Bell will pounce. But a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. I mean, you've made up 14 places in the race. That is a bird well worth hanging on to. And Jongen as well is going to be charging. He is down 1 position overall. He's just got past Bell, and he's now catching up to Kibazinski. So these two battling for 6th place in the pros. Sorry, top 10 in the pros. My goodness me. Top 10 in the pros, these two are after. Fabian Goldie still after another position as well. Damien Konzig looking to hold on to the fastest lap and safely make his way through the traffic. He's got Rapid Racing and Fast and the Furious there, and there too is Tom Wegman flashing the lights. Although 4-way slipstream down the hill, not a bad thing. Look at that. The respect here from the Rapid Racing driver. Pulls over down the hill. The Mustang is going to wait on the outside, giving Wegman the apex. Very nicely done by all concerned. And the Rapid Racing Ferrari has wasted no time whatsoever in taking that position, and that is how it's done. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Use the traffic around you, even if you're the slower cars. So if you're the cars being blue flagged, use that to your advantage to take positions. And of course Danny McCutcheon, or not of course, sorry, but there is Danny McCutcheon brought himself right into this battle as well. So Goldie now ahead of Gibson. That will change, and there we go. McCutcheon in the silvers, Gibson in the wild cards, and Goldie in the pros. Just outside the overall top 20. Bell and Jongen have got right up to Kibazinski. Jongen looking for points, Bell looking for pride. Top 15 finish. Not too shabby in this field, that is for sure. Oh, the BMW and the Mustang, different line. Sorry, Lexus. Oh, and he's going for up the inside. That is a bold one into Hawthorne. Is he going to make it stick? He is not, doesn't have the momentum or the grip. Almost completely loses it there. Let's watch this from helmet cam and see just how much extra steering input had to be put in to keep the Lexus on the road. Oh yeah, the back of the Mustang, that's where he lost all his pace. Into Surtees, the back of the car trying to let go twice there. Wrestled back into line. Down the hill. The Lexus already god level in a straight line. Oh yeah, full steering. Now we've got Jongen in 15th. Oh, and that changes the podium in the silvers. Drive-through for track limits for Dennis Shope. Oh, and we've got 0.3 of a second between the race leaders with 4 minutes to go. Dennis Shope with a drive-through. He is going to tumble down the order and off the podium. Chris Bell is now on the silver podium. it clean, keep it consistent, and great things that will certainly happen. And Chris Bell is getting himself a podium. That is an incredible drive. Incredibly bad luck for Shope, it has to be said. So easy to violate the track limits here. He's got 1 lap left to serve that. He really is going to fall by the wayside. Tom Wegman, he is definitely not going to fall by the wayside. He's got the Audi just ahead of him. I did say there would be something like 8 tenths between them if the pace stayed as is. It did not. Tom Wegman is going faster than Konzig at the moment. So close between the two of them in lap times. 1 minute 23.7 for Konzig, only half a second slower than the fastest lap of the race. In fact, with that one, he did find a bit of time on Wegman. We've got just under 3 minutes to go. With a lap time in the 1 minute 20, so 3 laps. Yeah, 3 laps to go. With 40 already in the books for the race leaders. Van der Hoek still trying to get himself on the pro podium. De La Souza is going to have a fair bit to say about that, I'd imagine. He's had a great start to the season so far. Let's see, Thomas Grayzig for turn 1. He is still behind Oliver Zubik. Is slightly quicker at the moment, and so too Fabian Goldie. Definitely going quicker than Basteri, another one of the turn 1 sim racing team. And he's actually got the overtake done there. Basteri not putting up too much defence. His Mercedes definitely out of position, but he's got that damage repaired. There is Shope in. Oh, there's a QRT car facing the wrong way. I know this is the Naruto car. I cannot for the life of me figure out who that was now. My apologies. Where is the... Okay, so much for 3 laps. The leader is on the final lap. He's got 6 tenths and a whole lot of traffic. It's going to be a 42 lap outing at Brands Hatch. More importantly for Damien Konzig, he survived the curse at 19 minutes to go. He's held on to the lead of the race for its entirety. Took pole position, holds the fastest lap currently, holds the lead of the race, but is currently holding the attention of 3 drivers. Tom Wegman behind him and Oliver Zubik just ahead of him. We've also got the Naruto machine in there as well. It should be, yeah, absolutely no problem whatsoever. Damien Konzig returns to winning ways. Back-to-back champions in Season 3 and 4. Yet to register a win in Season 5. But there it is. He takes the checker flag. 4 tenths of a second. So that wasn't the final lap. Now they're on the final lap. So I was correct. You've got to absolutely love technology, said no one ever. Tom Wegman. Oh, now that gap is down to 3 tenths of a second. That is dropping. They've got some traffic ahead of him. He's not going to do anything crazy though. We've seen what gentlemen Konzig and Wegman both are. He's going to be maybe a bit grateful for the slipstream ahead of him. Maybe not too keen on having cars this close in the closing lap when the race win is up for grabs. Tom Wegman, big turnaround for him from last week, of course. Found himself involved in a very early incident and finished outside of the top 5. He is on the podium here. Is it going to be second place that he finishes with, or is he going to steal first from Konzig out of the last corner? Going to take a Herculean effort if he does, but it does look like Damien Konzig, as was stated on the previous lap, is about to register his first victory in the QRT GT3 Season 5, 3rd, 4th, and in week 3 gets himself a first place with the fastest lap. Take a bow, Sir Damien of Konzig. What a drive. Tom Wegman sees the checkered flag for second place. A phenomenal podium, and what a race. I did tell you, these two really can race up at the front. Valencia, Season 4, go watch it. Ed Sterling, Turn 1 Sim Racing. What a race they have had as a team, and certainly Sterling, what an event he's had overall. Took pole in the silvers and brings home a win in same. Phenomenal drive there. De La Zeus and Van der Hoek both crossing the line. It will be Oscar Bonage in the Mantley EMA Porsche on the second step of the silver podium. Congratulations, Oscar. Phenomenal drive there as well. Chandler Williams, last week's Pro winner, finds himself in fourth place. Fifth place, sorry. There's a couple of drivers have already left the server, so we'll get the results as they cross the line. But Bjornage in second, and it is Chris Bell kept his head while others around lost theirs. And there he is there, the QRT driver's crossed the line. He's taking the checkered flag for third place in the silvers. Letelier, as we saw with the win, and I believe it was Haugstad, got himself second place. But again, Damien, double champion Konzig. I'm going to make sure to get the highlights this week because we didn't get Imola. There we go. And we can have a look at the results. There is Konzig overall in the AMS. Confirmation is Letelier winning, Haugstad in second place. Okay, a couple of drivers with blue flag warnings. Horman winning in the wildcards, O'Connor and Letelier there bringing home the win. Gibson is a wildcard as well, Lieutenant Redeye. And yeah, there we go. That one has gone on us, unfortunately. A few cars still in the pits. Quick look at the podium from last week. Congratulations to everyone again, though. What a race that was. Absolutely phenomenal drives by Konzig, Letelier, and Sterling. Sterling especially. What a drive that is. The track in qualifying changed from fast to optimum, but you do still need to set those lap times, and that's exactly what Sterling did. So for me, I would have to say Sterling very much driver of the day, although Konzig taking pole position, fastest lap the race win, and fending off Tom Wegman for the final couple of laps. No mean feat either, so let's not overlook that one. Another incredible round from the QRT GT3 Championship season number 5. I don't know if I've mentioned this. You can watch the previous seasons on YouTube, so do make sure you go back and enjoy some incredible racing. Season 3, 3 drivers in silvers had the same points going into the last race, and 2 drivers in the pros had the same points going into the last race. That's how close it was. So yeah, once you've done watching your way through them, well, it'll be next week, and we'll be back same time, same place for the mighty Suzuka. Oh yes, it is the Southern Hemisphere's Spa, and I am absolutely here for it. What a track that is. It'll be Circuit of the Americas on the 5th of December for round 5, and then the final round, the Red Bull Ring. Oh yes, absolutely. Cannot wait for that one. Remember, if you want to get signed up for any of the racing action, get onto the SimGrid website, give the hosts a follow there, and from there, of course, you will get the Discord link, and you can sign up to the championship. Once you're in Discord, even if you're not keen on the racing, you can keep up to date with where you can watch all of the action, and it is non-stop action. As you see, I've not stopped speaking for an hour. My throat is absolutely gone. Worth every second. So yeah, do make sure you go over there and sign up, and no matter what level your driving is at, you will find a home here at QRT where you can race. That is all from me. Huge thanks to everyone in the chat. We had a couple of follows at the start as well. Hunter Ramirez and Nath Racing. Thank you both for the follows here at QRT. And thanks to everyone that's been in the chat. And again, Mr. Sean Madden, hopefully you have a very speedy recovery. And we'll get you back in the commentary box next week. Yeah, you're going to need to fully sharpen that pencil though. The notebook will be, absolutely bulging. Until then, we will leave you with the highlights from tonight's race, of which there are many. So sit back, pop your feet up and enjoy the action without me jumping all over it. I'll be back next week, as I say. Until then, stay safe, take it easy, and have a great rest of your night. Good night.